Of our midday motivation, where it's our goal to motivate, encourage, and inspire you into the rest of your day. I am lead pastor here at Revive Church, Derik Kerber, where it's our mission to change lives, reach the next generation, and impact the culture with the love and the grace of Jesus Christ. And today I wanted to talk to you real quick about guard your heart. The scripture is very clear from Genesis to Revelation. It's important for you and for me to guard the very thing in which all of the issues of life flow from. It's our heart. It's where we think. It's where we marinate in, per se. It's where we allow our mind to be fully enveloped in. Even though we're in one physical location, your mind can be in a completely different space. And so with that, the Bible is very clear. Guard your heart above all else. Above all else. And so I want to bring you to Genesis chapter 4 in an unlikely account between two brothers, because one did not guard his heart. And these were the two sons of Adam and Eve, Cain and Abel. And I'm going to read in Genesis chapter 4. I'm going to read and starting in verse 2. It says, later she gave birth, this is Eve, to his brother named Abel. So Cain was older, Abel was younger. When they grew up, Abel became a shepherd, while Cain cultivated the ground. He was a farmer. When it was time for the harvest, Cain presented some of his crops as a gift to the Lord. It says some of his crops, just some, as a gift to the Lord. And Abel also brought a gift, the best portions of the firstborn lambs from his flock. So they were the best. So while Cain brought some, Abel brought the best. While Cain brought some, it was basically what was left. Abel brought the firstborn and the best of his crops. And so Abel brought the best, the portions of his flock. The Lord accepted Abel and his gift, but he did not accept Cain and his gift. This made Cain very angry, and he was very dejected. Now, the question we might ask, and you might think that this is totally irrelevant to the idea of the story, that you would think that Cain was justified in his anger because God didn't accept his offering. Well, the issue with this is a heart factor that Cain allowed an issue, a pollution to get into his heart. Because Cain was upset that God didn't accept his offering, he was also upset because God accepted Abel's offering. But the question is here, God is a just judge. Cain only brought what was left of his offering to the Lord. Whatever was left of the ground. It was almost like he fed the cattle, he stored away for winter, and they ate. But he said, oh, I got some, what's left here, I'm going to just give that to the Lord. But Abel made a decision that before he saved for winter, before he fed the family, before he fed and was able to supply their needs, he brought the best portion, the first fruit to God. Because God is worthy of our first. That's it. If we put God second, he's not God. Let's just put it out that way. And so this goes with us today. They didn't have money or currency in this day. Your needs was currency. And so for us, it's us giving our tithe to God, the first fruits of what I receive in every single business deal that I do, and every single bit of money that I make, taxes that come back, a piece of property or something that I sell. Every part of that is first fruits to God. And so when I give, it's not what's left. I don't pay this and pay that and make sure this bill is paid, then pay God. It's the first. My 10% goes to God. And so within this, it's saying Cain got very angry. And in verse 6, it says, why are you so angry? The Lord asked Cain. Why do you look so dejected? You will be accepted if you do what is right. But, this is his warning, if you refuse to do what is right, then watch out. Sin is crouching at the door, eager to control you, but you must subdue it and be its master. However, the story doesn't go as such. In verse 8, it says, Cain suggested to his brother, let's go to the fields. And while they were in the field, Cain attacked his brother Abel and killed him. And we all know what happens after that. All of a sudden, now Cain is being faced by God. And God says, hey, where is your brother? And Cain is still upset with God because you didn't accept my offering. He says, am I my brother's keeper? And to the God of the universe, he's being mocked. He's giving a mockery to him. But the thing was, God was true. He said, Cain, if you don't control your heart, if you don't control your mind, if you allow this jealousy, if you allow this anger to continue to fester, it will manifest into something that you do not want. But then God says, you can make it your servant.
It doesn't have to be your master. You must be its master. But the thing is, Cain did not listen, and Cain did something that he he didn't reject. He regretted, and he killed his own flesh and blood and was cursed on the land. And so my question for you, if God told Cain he could control his anger, if God told Cain he could control his jealousy, if God told Cain he could control where he went by the choice of how he handled his emotion, the answer is you can too. So my prayer for you is when you get angry, give it to God. Don't continue to let it fester. The number one thing is don't let it fester. You can give yourself a time slot. Give yourself an hour. You can be mad for an hour. But after an hour, I'm making the decision. I'm moving on with this thing. Forgiving this person. Give yourself a day. After that, you're done with it. It's over with. I'm not going back to it anymore. And he said he could change his ways because Cain was upset that God was not accepting his offering. But because he was so mad at God for not accepting his offering, he took that out on Abel because God was accepting his offering, when the answer was to change his heart and to not just give of what was left, but to bring the first fruits to God, and then Cain would have been blessed. So with that being said, I want to encourage you, let's get our hearts right and not look to outward actions to get back at people, but to change our heart and our actions so we can move in the right direction and get what we really want, except at the expense of someone else. With that being said, I hope you enjoyed today's midday. I love you guys. Please hit the share button if this blessed you in any way, and I'll see you tomorrow on another episode.